Hello, my name is Jamie Lowe, and the Frankfurt Film Festival has received entries from around 44 countries across the world, and I'll be chatting to some of the people who've created these fantastic films. And today I'm joined by Shiman, who is behind the film Moonlight, Shadow, Wall. Shiman, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about your incredible film, which has won our Best Feature category?
Hi, hello. It's my honor to get that award. And my film is about three stories about three families living near the old wall around the old city of Xi'an in China. And how they survived, adapt, and grow through time under the same sky. By adapting the new type, they are not losing themselves, but gain acceptance of their roots and who they really are and what they really want.
So it's three families that are not necessarily connected by what happens in their life, but like you said, the wall, the Xi'an wall, the city wall becomes the backdrop for this film. Why was it important to have a central element like this when you're telling these three different narratives?
Because the old wall in Xi'an represents the city of rich cultural background and its glorious past. And I use the word of the old town. It's not only the visual background, but also the emotional belt connecting different families and generation together.
And of course, one thing that really stands out in the film is the inclusion of music, and the music almost becomes a character within itself. Now, I think music is quite an important part of your life as well, is that right?
Yeah, because I graduated I studied sound engineering and music through my college. And then I took many film courses during my postgraduate. So I combine those elements those art elements in my film. So that's what I most interesting elements are in my films. Yeah.
And the area of Xi'an has quite a rich musical culture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's something that you showed through the film, through the sort of the puppet shows and the on-street operas. Were they sort of like, I'm talking about the sort of people that were performing on the street, were they sort of naturally just there performing anyway?
Yeah, of course. They when I when I come back my hometown, I often see some people singing some like the Chinese opera, and they play the Chinese pepper on the street. That's the most I don't how to say, that's the most memories in my when I'm there.
Yes.
So I try to show all these elements to more people. And through this film, I want to them know those. Yes.
Yeah, and I think it does definitely come through, and the sort of different styles of music, you know, from the classical cello playing to the sort of opera, and then with the Western character that comes in, the English teacher, who then learns about the different styles of opera and their different purposes. Now, one thing that really stands out is the learning curves that each of these families has to go on, the different things that they have to overcome. Why does that become such a central role? I mean, that is the story arc of the film. Is that something that's happening in Xi'an? Is that what you wanted to show?
Of course, there have some real events when I craft the story, it's based on some real events, but I try to tell the I don't know how to say. I try to show more elements about traditional Chinese culture in my film, and such as the pepperies. I hope that more people can pay attention to those valuable programs of artistics, production, and performance. And then those people maybe their life is tough, in the tough, or maybe they can't get their dreams, but they still going on. They still get the hope of their life. So I want to show more about that.
And you tackle some sort of more difficult issues in the film as well. There are themes of shame running through it. Is that something that you wanted to show as well? You know, we're talking about the young child and
Yes.
the family that don't want to interact with the father's hometown.
Yes. I think the story is based on real events, adaptation, and totally focused on the vulnerable groups. That's one part of my film, and I support the Black Death children for several times. So I know how hard their family and when they grow up, they will make focus on some very difficult grow up progress. So the same thing in my film is about them. I think the most sensory expression of affection. Yes. I want to show the most sensory expression of my affection.
And I've got to say, your actors were fantastic. Your cast was absolutely amazing. And did it take long to cast? Were you casting people from Xi'an itself? How did you do it?
Most of my actor and actress, they are grow up in Xi'an. So I picked them for a long time because some of them we shoot together before in this film. So we have we have a long time communication. So they know what I need and what I should to show on my film. So we are friends now. So during my shooting my film, it's enjoyable process. Yes.
Let's talk more about the sort of choices that you made when creating this film. So you talk about lingering on shots, you know, taking a long time to make a shot complete. Is that to make the viewer really look at what they're seeing and really sort of engage with the culture of this city?
Yeah. Yes, it's also hard during this. The first of all, the hard of to got the financial support, because I am a newbie to shooting a long film, and you need money to finance the short, but the content can't be controlled by money. So you need to choose what the most important things you want to show. Yes.
So, but what I was getting at is that the you know, you use wide, long shots. They're you know, it's not short, sharp shots. They're long and they're lingering. And what I did when watching the film is that I could look at everything in the rooms. I could you know, appreciate all the little bits of that set and that frame. Why did you use such sort of slow, longer shots?
Yeah, I want to show those people who living in this place, and what's their really lives. Just everything shows I think maybe you can make up the story, but everything you need to show to someone is the important thing is that's real.
Because it's, you know, if you were to recreate this, I mean, Xi'an was obviously your location, and that offered up some really realistic areas for you to shoot. But if you were to create that in a studio, let's say, it wouldn't have had the same sort of realistic effect. And then you talk about you know, the shooting ratio of the film. Could you explain a little bit about why you chose that particular ratio?
Sorry.
The 1 to 1.85 ratio. You used that for a particular reason.
Because I am grew up in that in there, so I am familiar. I have some emotion. Maybe the deepest emotion, maybe I am a child. So I want to tell the most familiar things when I grew up.
Yeah, so you talk about wanting to add some sort of vintage to the film. Yeah.
Sorry, I can't.
It's okay. Don't worry. So we'll move on, and let's talk about this film, because it's already, you know, gaining some attention. How do the people of Xi'an, you know, have you taken this film back? Have you showed it to people in the city? What do they think of it?
I think they have the most how to say. Sorry.
It's okay.
I think they are the most. They have the most. They has the most feelings, emotions in the environment, and when they saw this film, the thing is, there has too many kinds of people in the old war during life their life to the old war, so they will and that environment is their most familiars. So I think they will catch what I want to see in this film.
Good. And let's talk about a little bit about your training then. So you mentioned that, you know, you studied sound and sound engineering, and music is a big part of your life, but you obviously learned to make films somewhere, and you studied sort of abroad, didn't you?
Yes.
Tell me about your training. Where did you learn to make films?
Something is I learned in when my college classes, and I also get some sound engineers personally, like recording the environment sounds in that city, and something I will tell the recording the sound designer what I want to show in this film. I like some special songs
and so
around in this city.
Yeah, so you're creating sort of a natural soundscape that's true to the area. So what are you going to be working on now? You mentioned you're a newbie to longer feature films. What is your next project going to be?
My next project is about a female grew up, but I can't tell more details because it's under planning. The story including love, art, and music, and a lot of artist elements in that film. I hope to give full play to my sensitivity and as a female director.
Amazing. Well, you're doing great work in the world of filmmaking, so I wish you all the best, and congratulations on winning our Best Narrative Feature for your film, Moonlight Shadow War. Shiman Ma, thank you so much for talking to us, and thank you to you at home for watching. Be sure to check out the Frankfurt Film Festival website for more details on our winners and, of course, their fantastic films.